Hello everyone, this is Sean.
This is who?
We are the Courageour Frights, back once again for another movie review. This time we're doing Antman and the Wasp Quantumania.
Oh, yes.
Alright, so what did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp, considering you're the Ant-Man fan?
The Ant-Man, and probably the only Ant-Man fan in existence. Like, I've always said this with every Marvel movie, like our last couple Marvel movies, it's a Marvel movie.
It's a movie.
So it's not bad, it's not great.
Yeah.
It's just a Marvel movie. I mean, it's just the start of Phase 5?
Yeah.
I think.
It is.
Okay, so this is when we're starting to get introduced into Kang.
Danky Kang.
Yeah, the Danky Kangs. And Big Head Mode MODOK.
Yeah. MODOK is a creative choice.
Yeah, a creative choice on that. We'll explain that a little bit later, but Kang, I like the actor for Kang. He's pretty good. Like,
yeah, Jonathan Majors is good.
Yeah, he's a really decent actor. Yeah, I like it more than the other Ant-Man movies. Probably not. But
no, I feel it's very similar to Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that's a good.
It has a great villain, very well cast and acted villain.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But he's surrounded by stupidity.
Yeah. Like people like their holes. What is it? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll get into, I guess, spoiler-ish territory.
Yeah.
But for non-spoiler section, so what would you rate this movie?
To me, probably 6.
Yeah, that's.
It's not. It's like above average, I guess. It's not bad. Like I said, it's not bad. It's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple lines that made me laugh, so I'll give it a 6.
There were some
comedic lines that were pretty decent in this movie. So
yeah, it's pretty funny. But if you're trying to see like a serious start to the multiverse or Kang's story or whatever, this ain't it.
Or you want to watch retelling of Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
Yeah, that does seem to happen a lot. All right, so going into a little bit of spoilers now, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie, it starts, and the way the trailer has it set up seems like it's going to spend a lot of time on Ant-Man or Scott Lang trying to reconnect with his daughter, who he's been away from for so long that she actually became a different person.
Yeah, I know.
She's a different actress now.
Just forgot what she looked like.
Yeah. So she gets arrested for like activism or something.
Yes.
And then he hasn't seen her in so long that he picks up the wrong person at the,
exactly.
at the prison and walks away with this other girl we've never seen before.
Yeah.
And and then that plot point that they seem to craft the trailer around and everything, that plot point exists for approximately about 2.5 minutes, and then it stops.
It's kind of like you see it, and then she's like, "You were never around." Basically, that's what she says, and he's like, "Ouch,"
and that's it.
Yeah, and he's listening to his own book.
He's listening to his book on tape.
Yes.
And then they have like a family dinner with all the Pims and the Langs.
Yeah, and the Langs.
Michael Douglas rehydrates a pizza.
Yeah, you know that thing from like
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. It's like, what?
And then Michael Douglas, also critically acclaimed actor Michael Douglas, has a line in there where he says that he explains that he and Scott's daughter have been working on a project with science with ants, ant science. I like ants.
Yeah.
That's a line in the movie.
Yes. That's the writing sometimes you get in this movie.
The writing quality.
Yes. And this is supposed to go into the Avengers movie.
Yeah, well, good news, everyone. The guy that wrote this is writing Avengers 4.
Yes.
So, anyway, or 5, or whatever it is. So, anyway, we get to the point where... What is Scott's daughter's name? Cassie?
Cassie or... Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea.
I say Sweet Pea because that's what he used to call her that.
Yeah, he stopped calling her that.
Yeah, and he called her Peanut.
Oh, yeah. Oh, anyway.
So some sort of legume.
Some sort of legume. We're into ants and legumes.
Yeah.
So
I think it is Cassie, though.
I think it is Cassie. So anyway, Cassie says that she's been working on a project.
Yeah.
She's been sending a signal into the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And then Michelle Pfeiffer
It's like, stop this now.
she's like, stop this nonsense.
And everyone's like, why?
And everybody's like, why?
Just stop it.
She's like, just stop. And they're like, why don't you actually tell us anything about what happened to you for years?
It's like, just stop it. I won't. It's like, no, I'm not going to tell you anything.
I won't tell you anything. Even when your lives are in danger, I'm not going to tell you anything.
I mean, she probably would have a point if she boned
Bill Murray.
I mean,
yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason she doesn't want to tell anyone. So anyway, yeah, Catwoman got it on with Venkman. Or
yeah. A Bill Murray.
But anyway, that aside, she was desperate in the quantum realm.
Yes.
So anyway, that aside, they send a signal into the realm. All of a sudden, something signals them back, and then because you know how communication works with radio signals, they get sucked into the quantum realm.
Yes.
Because that's how signals work.
That's how two-way radios work.
yeah. So like if you have like a shortwave radio.
Yes.
And you're picking up a broadcast from like Japan, you better watch yourself because you could get sucked through the broadcast and end up in Japan.
Yes.
It's a real problem you gotta worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, they get sucked through the signal to the quantum realm.
Yes.
Where everything's like amoebas and stuff.
I don't understand the quantum realm whatsoever.
No, I understand less now.
Because he's like, time is constraints outside of like reality or something. That's what Kang says or something like that. It's like time is just outside of whatever. Mm-hmm. But quantum realm exists. So it has to be into something, right?
And it's not that bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically just like an alien world.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of like Star Wars looking creatures.
Yeah, it's like that movie, Brave New World, that just came out from Disney.
Oh, yeah.
That looks exactly like it. That's what I thought of when I saw it. I'm like, this is that Brave New World movie.
Yeah, basically.
Like, they have the same creatures and everything.
There's like slug camels. And weird stuff. But anyway, like, okay, so most of the things look like amoebas or like unicellular organisms.
Really should have done that route.
Right. And that I like that.
Yeah.
The creatures that look like tardigrades or stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird shit at like a subatomic level.
Yeah.
This movie gives us that, but then there's also just straight up humans.
Yeah, straight up humans that say they're not human.
Yeah, they say they're not human, but they're human.
Like Bill Murray. That's why we said that Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer boned Bill Murray, because that's an actual line in the movie. That's not like...
It's a plot point.
Yeah, that's not something we're like making up. That's actually happened.
He's like, I'm human when it matters.
Yeah, and he's like, you have human parts, that means you are human.
Yeah, you're human. He's like, he's human, but he's not human.
Yeah, he looks like a human. He speaks like a human.
Everything's like a human.
I'm assuming...
Well, he actually speaks a different language, but...
Oh, that's true.
They drink a drink made out of some guy's bodily fluids.
Yeah, some weird...
Some
jellyfish thing?
Some jelly man. They drink a jelly man, and now they understand all the languages of the quantum realm.
Yes.
And this is the second time Disney pulled this crap. And it pissed me off then, and it pissed me off now. Because I'm like somebody that's really into like linguistics and stuff. Yeah. Learning languages. And Disney seems to have this real thing, this like obsession with just drinking something gives you the ability to understand languages and cultures.
Yes.
They did this in John Carter. And the movie John Carter, they did this. But the book, Princess of Mars, spends several chapters explaining how he learned the language and the culture.
Yes.
But in the movie, it's just here, drink this Kool-Aid.
Yeah, drink this juice or whatever.
In this case, it's even worse. Now it's drink this guy's bodily fluids.
Yeah, the guy, this weird guy that wishes he had holes.
Yeah, the jelly man is obsessed with holes.
Yeah, even though there's human beings like that.
Yeah, there's like a psychic guy who's human.
Yeah.
Except for his head glows.
Yeah.
And he can
read everyone's mind. Yeah. So he's like Xavier.
Yeah, pretty much. But he has the same number of holes as everyone else.
Yeah.
So this guy keeps asking Scott Lang how many holes he has.
Yeah.
And then we find out the human body has 7 holes.
Yeah. He's like, how many holes do you have, or do you need me to put my juice in you? Or whatever. Yeah, that's like an actual line.
He does say something like that.
He's like, You understand what I'm saying? Let me put my juice in your hole.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird dialogue.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Speaking of weirdness, so anyway, they get separated. At the very beginning, they end up falling into the quantum realm. It's sort of like when Thor and Loki and Hela end up like in the Bifrost or whatever in Ragnarok. And like how Loki ends up getting knocked away early on. And then he ended up in Sakaar weeks before Thor did.
Yeah.
That had just as much quantum whatever as this did.
Yeah.
But because time moves differently in Sakaar or whatever. And it's like that had more timey-wimey stuff than Quantumania did. But anyway, the same thing happened to the ants in this, and we'll get back to the ants later. But then they end up getting separated. So Scott and Cassie end up in one place.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, Hank and I can't remember the mother's name.
It was like a scene from the Super Mario Brothers trailer.
Yeah.
Like Luigi and them, they get kind of separated.
Isekai.
It basically did the same thing.
Yeah, pretty much. And so anyway, Hank, Hope, and whatever their...
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Because I can't remember that character's name.
Yeah, I don't remember it either.
So anyway, they end up going on a different quest. She ends up trying to get in contact with Bill Murray.
Yeah, because she was like a freedom fighter.
Yeah.
Because you learn that, I guess this is a time where she finally explains, or maybe that's a little bit later after. It's probably after the Bill Murray scene.
She doesn't explain much ever.
Yeah.
But she explains a little bit that there was this guy.
Yeah.
They just call him or whatever.
Yeah.
And it turns out that's Kang.
Yeah, and he like helped him from like dying.
Yeah, and she saved Kang's life and helped him get his ship back together, not knowing who he really was.
Yeah, I guess the way his ship is like a neural link ship.
Yeah.
So when she was putting it together, she saw what his mind was, and it showed him like destroying civilizations and timelines and stuff. But she knew what a timeline was after that, so she must have like read his mind or something.
Yeah, she did read his mind. It said something about... It was like, there's a lot of convenient stuff that happens. It was like, she got it running, and then immediately after, for some reason, it like uploaded all of his thoughts into her mind or something.
Yeah, she was like able to like read it all.
It didn't make any sense.
Because no one else could do it, but she did.
She did it. So anyway, Bill Murray and her used to fight against Kang.
Yeah, because he was like a freedom fighter, I guess.
Yeah, because Kang is Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
So he just decides to make an empire in this. If he can't escape the quantum realm, he just decides to make an empire.
Yeah, because it's like his prison. He got exiled from the other Kangs.
The first galactic empire.
Actually, did he get exiled from the other Kangs, or did he get exiled from someone else?
I think he got exiled from the other Kangs.
So he was like actually like more extreme than the other Kangs.
I guess. Yeah.
Because I didn't understand that part. It's like they just exiled them for no reason.
Right, basically. So anyway, Kang goes to try to find Scott Lang and Cassie because he needs Pym particles.
Yeah.
Because Pym particles are like magic MacGuffins.
Yeah.
In the MCU.
He knows that those control his ship and need it for the powering his ship up again.
Yes, specifically those.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't know what a Pym particle is.
Yeah, he doesn't know what that is.
But whatever. It's important to the ship.
Yeah.
It furthers the plot. So they end up getting captured by him.
Yeah, by MODOK.
Yes. So this is where we get to MODOK.
Yeah.
What does MODOK stand for again?
It's like machine organism.
Yeah, it's like, what is it?
Mechanical
organism
of death machine, or it's like some weird name.
Yeah, let me look it up real quick here. Mechanized organism designed only for killing.
Yeah, only for killing. Yeah.
Yeah, so wouldn't that be MODOK?
Yeah, MODOK.
But anyway, so mechanized organism designed only for killing.
Yes.
Is a character in the comics that's actually like, I think he was like a scientist for AIM or something.
Yeah.
Which is like an offshoot of Hydra in the comics. And they're the guys that wear like the yellow hazmat suits all the time. They're like oversized hazmat suits. Like beekeeper costumes. And he is basically a giant head with little arms and little legs. So design-wise, this MODOK is pretty close to the comics. Yeah, that's
pretty close to the comics.
As weird as he looks, he's pretty close to the comics. But personality-wise and his backstory isn't the same at all.
No, because this connects directly to the second movie.
Yeah, this guy is, what was he, Yellow Jacket?
Yeah, he's Yellow Jacket.
It was like Darren something.
Because I think in the movie, I didn't watch. I haven't seen Ant-Man 2 in a while, but I'm pretty sure what he does to kill him or like end it was like he basically shrunk him down.
He is Ant-Man 1.
Ant-Man 1. Okay.
Yeah, he shrunk that guy down. He went like subatomic.
Yeah, subatomic.
Which at that point was like a death sentence because like nobody knew what that meant.
Yeah. He's like, that's just going down into whatever.
Now it just means you go down to this realm. But why he became a big head, that's never explained.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
He's just a big face now. A big old face.
Because like when they find him, he has just a head on the ground. Like his head and small arms and legs.
Yeah, there's a part where they show him naked.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
He's a giant head with a little tiny butt.
Yeah, I don't understand why that was like that.
I don't know. I don't know why anything happens. And so anyway, they get captured by MODOK.
Yes.
And we have a whole story with MODOK about being a dick.
Yeah.
Because the MCU really likes the term dick.
Yeah.
I think they've been obsessed with that word since Guardians of the Galaxy.
In a children's movie.
So there's a subplot with MODOK fighting Cassie later on.
Because that was a direct, like I said, that was a direct reference to the first movie. Because Cassie was like, he went to her room and was like about to like kill her or something.
Yeah, because he attacked her when she was like 6 in her house.
And she's like, I know that. I remember that guy in that Bumblebee jacket or whatever.
Yeah, she's pulling the bee costume or whatever. So anyway, she's like, later on they fight again, and Cassie like beats him by going giant.
Yeah. And
then tells him, "Why? Stop being a dick.
Yeah.
Why are you always a dick?"
It's like, I'm always a dick.
And he's like, "But I can't help it.
I'm a dick.
I'm a dick.
It's like,
look at me."
Yeah, yeah. It's like, you're a choice. You don't always have to be a dick or whatever.
Which plays it at the end.
Yeah.
So anyway, like, all hope is lost. He's captured. The other guys can't get an ally.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of stuff happens. Like,
because it's like, you learn that Kane came to this world and basically just took it over. He made his own empire, and he was apparently must have just like drove out their indigenous peoples.
It's very Palpatine-esque.
Yeah, he drove out all the indigenous peoples, so they're like out from the outskirts, like just fending for their lives.
Mm.
And they're like, we want to go get our town back or whatever. Like, we need our lands back.
Yeah. And there's a lot of imagery that looks right out of Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, it does.
And
even though
Revenge of the Sith.
Even though, like, everything's alive down there, so like even your ships are alive.
Yeah, yeah, and that gets weird later on because there are people who are like flying houses.
Yeah, like there's like
the houses are alive.
It reminds me of the thing from Earthbound.
Okay.
Because a guy there, his whole goal was to turn himself into a dungeon.
Yeah.
And when next you go into him and you beat the dungeon and he like walks you around the world.
Yeah.
In this dungeon form. It reminds me of that. Like, it's an alive guy.
It was a lot of weirdness.
So it's like, whoever played this must have played that and was like, that's my favorite part. Let me put that Dungeon Man in there.
We're way deep into the weirdness of the MCU right
now.
So, all this stuff happens. Eventually, they hit like a gridlock at some point where they can't get any further.
Actually, that reminds me. Where's the mitochondria at?
Oh. They're the powerhouse of the cell.
Yes. They're active rebellion against the the nucleus or whatever.
Go watch our Parasite Eve playthrough on Twitch. But anyway, so there's a certain point in the plot where they can't get any further, and then all of a sudden, like, because Hank seemingly gets killed by MODOK.
Oh yeah, because his ship
his ship gets blown up by MODOK.
Yeah.
And then we think Hank's dead. Well, obviously, you know he's not, but the movie tries to make you think he is. And then all of a sudden he comes back with giant ants.
Yeah. These are like sentient ants.
Yeah, giant sentient ants. And it turned out the ants that got blown off course at the beginning of the movie ended up in a different pocket of the quantum realm where like 10,000 years passed.
Yeah.
And they just built a giant civilization.
Yeah. An ant civilization.
An ant civilization. And then they just showed up. And then the explanation for this is that Hank's like, remember all those times throughout the movie that I kept getting those transmissions? And I was like, putting my hand on my ear, and I'm like, what's that? What's that transmission?
Colonel.
And it's like...
Colonel, is that you? I have scissors 69. That's what the answer saying. Lale lule lo.
What? Which?
Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? But since my question though is, did they forget to put that scene in the movie?
I didn't understand that.
Because it's calling back to scenes in the film previously.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be some big revelation, but at no point in the film do I ever remember him like listening to a transmission.
No, like the only point was like the scenes with Hank. There's not very many. Like, probably the third act he shows up.
Yeah.
The other parts he's like in it for probably like 5 minutes.
Well, he's there with like his wife and
he's just like there talking. Like
they're there with the Bill Murray scene.
Yeah, he's like getting information, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's not really. He's just like there.
Yeah.
But his only scenes where he dehydrates a pizza.
Yeah.
He asks the bartender if he can get something that makes him drunk.
Oh yeah, he does ask that. And then there's the whole thing with Bill Murray.
Yeah, and he's like,
and then he
how deep did you get with Bill Murray?
Yeah, and then he blows up increases the size of that thing that Bill Murray eats. Yeah. And then it eats Bill Murray.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Those are his whole scenes. Like, literally, that was the whole scene.
Right. But then some point during all that, he was getting transmissions by the ants.
I don't remember that at all.
Which they do mention early in the film that he's creating sentient ants.
Yeah, he's like, because it shows like an ant colony, and there's like
the ants are like building their own tech and stuff.
Yeah,
which is terrifying.
Yeah, that would be like the scariest thing in existence.
So
Hank Pym is like killing the civilization as we know it,
basically. So anyway, the ants show up at the end. There's this giant uprising against Kang and his clone troopers.
Yeah, because Kang is saying he wants, like, his whole goal is to try to get out. And he has, like, the core. Like, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, like, basically took the core and just, like, I don't know what she did. Like,
she blew it up.
Yeah,
she expanded it.
Or, like, shrunk it and expanded at the same time. It was, like, some weird
I think she just threw a bunch of those, like, expansion things.
Yeah, and then it just got stuck in there. And then he's like, I need you, Ant-Man, to go.
Right, they break... Yeah, to make Ant-Man go and it's
like retrieve it.
Yeah, it's basically the heist portion.
Yeah,
because every Ant-Man movie is a heist movie.
Kang has said he killed, like, because Kang is a pretty decent character. Like he portrayed him pretty well in this movie.
Yeah, he
says like he's killed Avengers before. And he knew who Ant-Man was. Like,
right, he alludes to killing Thor.
Yeah,
but I don't know if he did or not really, because then he knows who Ant-Man is. Yeah, so he's like, just like messing with him.
Yeah, he's just like messing with this whole time. He's like, "Who are you?
You the guy with the hammer?"
Like, I don't remember how many Avengers I killed, but
yeah, so I don't know how much that's true or not.
Yeah, and that's
because he kind of sucks at the end. So I don't know if he's killed Avengers.
Yeah,
or not.
And I was like, Kang is just like sucks.
He gets over. So anyway, it sets up at the end. We'll just go right to the end, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't want this to drag on forever. So there's the big uprising. All the people are fighting. People we've met earlier.
Yeah. Like
Jelly Guy.
Yeah, like the main.
The Jelly Guy gets holes.
Yeah. The main, like, indigenous population, I guess.
Yeah, it's like Jelly Guy, and then there's like the lamp from the Pixar.
Yeah. Like it's his head blown up.
He gets killed. And then the jelly dude gets shot a bunch of times, and now he has holes.
Yeah.
And it superpowers him. Yeah. And he eats a bunch of bad guys.
I don't understand that.
Because he got holes.
So they gave him holes, and he got stronger, and he just, like, ate a bunch of guys.
Yeah. It turned him into Kirby.
Yeah. Yeah, it did kind of look like Kirby, actually.
Yeah, it was weird. And then the ants succumb because Kang builds, like, a force field around himself.
Yeah. Because they're trying to bring his ship. He's like, I'm going to bring everything with me. Like, his tech to wherever. I guess to another multiverse or something.
Something like that. And then the ants overwhelm Kang, but they can't get through the shield.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, MODOK shows up, screaming, "My name is Darren, and I'm not a dick!" Yeah. And then he just blows up and dies.
Yeah. Because it breaks his force field or whatever. And that's why the ants are, like, eating Kang.
They just drag Kang off.
They didn't even kill him. They dragged him away.
They just dragged him away. And then MODOK has this
emotional scene.
Attempted emotional scene because this dude is actually dying.
Yeah, he's like spitting up blood and stuff.
Yeah, he's like actually dying, and it's a comedic scene.
Yeah, he's like,
which Thor: Love and Thunder didn't even go that far.
It was like, I'm an Avenger now.
And they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, you're an Avenger.
Yeah, okay. I'll put in a word for you.
Yeah.
And then he just dies and no one cares.
Like, you're my brother. It's like,
was I?
Was I ever your brother? Okay.
And then he dies and no one cares.
Yeah, I know it's good. It's like,
even though he's the only reason why they beat Kang.
yeah, I know.
His sacrifice.
His big-headed sacrifice.
Yeah, his big face sacrificed itself.
Then DK mode, or big head mode, like
defeated Danky Kang.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Code's cheat codes are falling off.
Yeah. So anyway, they save the day. They open up a portal to go back to Earth. Everybody goes through except for Scott gets grabbed by Kang.
Yeah, because he pushes Cassidy into, or Casey, or whatever.
Cassie or something.
The girl.
Yeah.
The daughter.
Right.
Pushed her into the portal.
Yeah.
And Kang, like, tries to shoot her or something, or trying to shoot
something
him.
like that. And then, like, Scott fights Kang. So this is a guy who supposedly killed Thor.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But Scott Lang, the world's worst fighter.
Yeah, the world's worst, like the weakest
Avenger, like, holds his own in a fist fight.
Against Kang the Conqueror that's killed multiple... He even says he's killed multiple uprisings in, like, Avengers. Like, he's killed,
he's like Frieza
heroes.
Or something. He's
Yeah.
just like, I've seen this so many times.
I was like, I killed everything.
Yeah. So Scott Lang holds his own until the Wasp comes through and kicks his ass.
Yes.
So Kang just gets his ass beat by the two worst Avengers.
Yeah, out of all of them.
Yeah.
And then does he actually die? I don't think he did. Like,
I don't know if he did or not. He got, like, dragged into that engine thing.
Yeah, that engine thing. Because basically, like, it's like making him even more probable. Like the probability realm.
Yeah. So basically, the end of the movie.
Which is what I think he does say that. Like, Lang is there. He's like, did I actually beat him?
Yeah, that part was funny at the end.
Yeah, it's like it's like happy music, and he's like, he said he was gonna come back. Yeah, he's like, it's coming back.
It felt sort of like Multiverse of Madness is ending,
Yeah.
where everything's all fine and good, and then he's got a third eye growing out of his head. That's like what happens here, because he's like, oh, we beat Kang, and then
he went to Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, went to Baskin Robbins and got the world's worst birthday cake.
Yeah,
and then he's like, but did we beat him?
Yeah,
and then he said that
other ones are coming.
Other ones are coming.
Worse than he is.
And he was the only one that could stop them, so they just kill everyone.
It's like, maybe not.
maybe I shouldn't think about it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty much the movie. And then the post-credit scene, there's two. One post-credit scene is the Council of Kangs.
Yeah.
Which is actually really stupid.
Yeah.
Because most of the Kangs are morons.
Yes.
There's a scene with a bunch of Kangs just sitting there cheering like idiots for no reason.
Cheering other Kangs.
So it basically it had the opposite, at least for me, it had the opposite effect of when they first showed Thanos.
Yeah.
Where it was like this intimidating guy.
Yeah.
And now we got the Kangs who Kang was intimidating.
Yeah.
In this film, he was intimidating. These new ones aren't intimidating at all.
No, they're like cheering for some weird reason.
They're like idiots.
Yeah.
And then there's like three main Kangs. One's like Egyptian, one's like pseudo-Chinese Kang.
And then you had, maybe that must be like, what's it called? The Shang-Chi Chang, maybe?
That was the Fu Manchu Kang.
Yeah, because it kind of looked like...
It was really weird.
Very stereotypical. There was one like a future, like a Guardian of the Galaxy Kang.
Yeah, it was like borderline offensive.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And they're just all cheering with a bunch of stupid Kangs.
Which doesn't make any sense. If they're all evil... They must know each other Kangs then. They must know each other.
They all know all the Kangs because I think what was going on was the one Kang was like defeating all the other Kangs or something.
Oh, so they were just
it was almost like Jet Li's the one.
Oh, so he's trying to like... So they exile that other Kang because he's killing the other Kangs.
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. I don't know. But that seemed to be the case, and that's the end of the movie. And then there's another post-credit scene at the very end.
That leads directly into Loki 2.
Right, where there's a Kang in like 1900 doing some like show or something.
Yeah, which I looked it up online.
Yeah, and in the audience is Owen Wilson and Loki.
And Owen Wilson's like, he doesn't look intimidating.
He doesn't look intimidating at all. And then Loki's like, oh, he is.
Yeah,
he's
like
very
frightened.
dangerous or something. Like he's actually scared of him.
Apparently, this one's Victor
Timely
when he lives in like Wisconsin and he's like basically building tech to beat the Avengers.
Yeah.
And building a time machine. Like, his whole thing is about
basement.
time. Yeah, he's like, he knows how to build time machines because apparently what's happening is he's trying to connect that time frame with Chronopolis, which was the quantum realm.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's what they call it, Quantopolis.
Right. Even though there's no real time travel going on in Chronopolis.
So I don't understand how that's going to work. Because the whole point of them getting at least according to the comic thing that I read.
Yeah.
The whole point of the reason why they can beat the Avengers is because he's getting technology from the future.
Yeah.
To be able to beat the Avengers now.
Which is kind of in the same thing as Booster Gold over in DC.
Yeah, it's pretty much Booster Gold. So that basically Kang is the Booster Gold.
He's Booster Gold. And so
if Chronopolis is down.
Victor Timely.
Yeah.
Victor Crowley. Victor Timely is building Avenger killing weapons.
Yeah, like robotics and Avenger killing weapons.
Yes, in Mr. Plinkett's basement.
Yeah, pretty much.
In Wisconsin.
Yes.
So, anyway, that's basically Quantumania. There was ant science.
Ant science. Which, like I said, whoever's in the quantum realm, they got to be very, very afraid.
Well, yeah, because now they're ruled by sentient ants.
Yeah, sentient ants that just kill things.
Giant sentient ants. That's why I'm like real excited for the Them remake.
Yeah.
Because we need to get back into perspective here. Because we've had 3 Ant-Man movies tell us how cute and cuddly ants are.
It's like they're not cute and cuddly.
And it's like, do you know anything about ants?
Yeah.
They're the most fearsome killers in the animal
kingdom. Do you know anything about science?
I know about ant science.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I like ants.
But, so I guess with this particular movie, does this interest you in the Phase 5 at all?
I think I'm interested less in Phase 5 after watching this.
I was like, yeah, it's like Kang was interesting, but he loses so easily.
He's lost like, twice now.
Yeah, he's lost twice.
We've seen him twice, and he's lost twice.
He's just dying, like, constantly.
It'd be like if they introduced Thanos and he just immediately gets ass kicked.
Yeah, and it's like, if your villain wants to be evil and, like, someone that's going to be, like, intimidating, you're going to have to fight Brie Larson.
He doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, she's going to, like, punch him, and it's like, his head's going to explode.
Yeah, Brie Larson's just going to, like, pile drive him.
Yeah. And the other guy is, like, Miss Marvel, I guess, unless somehow it converts them into, like, lower power levels.
I have no idea. Yeah, because he's got to somehow take on Thor.
Yeah.
He's got to take on Captain Marvel. He's got to take, like,
Even Thanos could take a punch from Captain Marvel.
Well, yeah, this guy barely could beat Ant-Man in a fight.
Yeah. He lost Ant-Man.
It's like, how is this guy supposed to be intimidated?
Yeah, it's like...
He had a blue force field around him.
Yeah,
that ants and MODOK broke through.
Yeah, MODOK.
MODOK's big face broke through the force field.
Yeah, and a bunch of ants did.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy doesn't seem intimidating. If your villain is... I mean, he's a good actor.
No, I'm not saying anything against Jonathan Majors. Like, he's a good actor. It's gore again.
Yeah.
It's a really intimidating villain in a stupid movie.
Yeah. And it's like...
He's just wasted.
Like, what's the other movies coming up? So you have, I guess Loki's better, it better be connected somehow, because Loki 1 wasn't connected to anything.
Well, it's loosely connected to this, I guess, but they didn't reference it at all.
Yeah, nothing.
This references Loki season 2, because the post-credit.
Yeah, directly references it.
Yeah.
Does that mean, like, Owen Wilson's character in Loki's going to be in another movie?
Well, he's in Deadpool.
Oh, is he in Deadpool?
I don't think that's even part of this, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be later on.
I think that's gonna be that might even be a variant of that character.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I'm trying to think how since this is supposed to be Phase 5, how all this connects together.
What's the next Marvel movie? I don't even know.
I think it was supposed to be in Miss Marvel.
I think it's still is.
Because that was delayed until like October or something.
Okay.
It's like really far delayed now.
I feel like the Marvel still is the next movie.
Maybe it is. Because I know DC has all their movies showing up.
DC has like 4 movies in a row.
Marvel, I think Miss Marvel is the next movie. I'm pretty sure.
Right. Okay.
But I don't know because what movies have we? So we had.
I have like no interest in Miss Marvel, but I might watch it anyway.
Yeah, I might watch it just because it's a Marvel movie is like.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because Loki 2. Because I don't know Loki 2 because I have a feeling that Timely guy's gonna die at the end of Loki 2.
Probably. I'm more interested in Loki 2 than I am probably any of these movies.
Yeah.
Because I like the first season a lot.
I'm trying to think what other. So they have This movie is Phase 5, the start of Phase 5.
Yeah. This phase ends with the Kang Avengers movie.
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror, the Avengers movie.
Yeah,
Age of
it's
Kang.
like whatever, Dynasty of Kang or something. I can't remember what it is, but that's written by the guy who wrote Quantumania, so I don't know how much hope I have in that.
So we have that. Miss Marvel's Blade is supposed to be in there, but I don't know if that's part of that or if that's something else.
Yeah, I don't know, because Phase 5 and Phase 6, I think, are like together.
Oh, is that something like that?
Because like there's 2 Avengers movies that are announced already. And they're both dealing with
Avengers
I think one's dealing with Kang and one's dealing with like Secret Wars or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was another. Was that a TV show coming out too? I think
there's Secret Invasion. I think that's coming up. That's different from Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars is the multiversal war that we keep talking about.
Okay.
Like potentially the Tom Cruise Iron Man. And all that. They probably won't give us that, but
because Guardians of the Galaxy's in there too.
Guardians of the Galaxy's the next one. Actually,
is that what Guardians? Okay, yeah, it's May 5th.
I can't believe I forgot that one. That one I actually am excited for.
Okay, so yeah, because we have. Let me try to see. I mean, this is from a Forbes article from January 9th, so that's pretty recent.
Relatively recent.
Okay, so we have Phase 5. We have Antman the Wasp, which that deals with Kang.
Yeah.
What If, which does that deal with anything?
No, so What If is just like alternate timelines and stuff.
Then Secret Invasion. So that must have to deal with Kang as well, or maybe something else.
Secret Invasion's of Skrulls.
Skrulls. Okay, so maybe that has maybe like a loose say, oh, there's a guy or something.
Yeah, probably. Like Secret Invasion, I feel like is going to be like a Skrull civil war or some crap.
Oh, okay.
It's basically,
so
they
it's
already they already did this plot in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
There was the Zygons in Peter Capaldi era where there was like good Zygons that liked humanity, and then there was like a terrorist group within the Zygons.
Oh, okay.
And the Zygons are shapeshifters just like
So
Skrulls. So it's literally the same thing.
Okay. The Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah.
This one, I don't know if it's going to deal with Kang at all.
I don't think it will.
Because this is like its own thing.
It's wrapping up. It's dealing with like Adam Warlock.
Yeah, Adam Warlock and whatever, the end of Guardians 2.
Yeah, that's all like James Gunn stuff.
Loki Season 2, because that will directly deal with Kang.
That will have Kang stuff. That might be the only thing that's Kang until the Avengers.
Because Echo is in there, which that's like Hawkeye.
Echo the Dolphin.
Which I don't know how that's going to be, because Jeremy Renner is supposed to be in there. And he's
Echo's more Daredevil than anything else.
Daredevil, okay. Then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is apparently part of Phase 5.
I don't think that's connected at all.
Yeah, I can't imagine that connected to Kang at all.
No.
And then the Marvels is July 28th, but I think that got pushed back. I'm pretty sure, because I just read that.
Yeah, that might have Kang stuff in there, but I don't know if it does or not. I heard it was a musical.
Yes. Then Ironheart.
That's not going to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, that's probably something to do with Wakanda.
Yeah, that'll be a Wakanda thing.
And then another movie, I don't think this is part of anything, but Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter, that's not even Phase 5. That's Sony.
That's Sony the 5.
Forbes doesn't know what they're talking about.
And X-Men 97.
That doesn't have anything to do with
it. Which that's a TV show, so that's not Kang.
That's just a sequel to the X-Men cartoon.
Agatha. Would that be our part of Kang? Or is that going to deal with maybe Multiverse
That's
of
just
Madness?
going to... That might do That's going to possibly deal with Multiverse of Madness, but mostly just WandaVision.
Then Daredevil's Phase 5 as well, apparently.
That's Daredevil Reborn or something like that.
Then Captain America New World Order, which probably doesn't deal with Kang.
No, I don't think so.
And then Thunderbolts, which...
probably doesn't deal with Kang.
Doesn't kill... I mean, none of these are like what we have. One movie that deals with the main, like two things that deal with the main villain.
Yeah, Thunderbolts is literally just like the Suicide Squad,
and then Blade,
which also doesn't deal with Kang,
which that's like zombies or vampires and stuff. So, just going through the Phase 5 list because Blade apparently, according to the Forbes thing, that was like the ending.
Yeah.
That realistically, half those movies don't deal with the main villain that you're trying to deal with.
Though to be fair, half those movies aren't even MCU movies.
Yeah, that's true.
There's like Sony movies thrown in there and like all kinds of stupid stuff.
Spider-Man.
Forbes doesn't know what they're talking about.
But
so anyway, yeah, Phase 4 or 5 doesn't seem to be real Kang heavy.
Yeah, which
it seems like it's gonna start with Kang and end with Kang.
Yeah, because this movie was supposed to be all about the Kangs.
Yeah, which it was more or less.
Yeah,
but I don't think it felt like they made them intimidating enough.
Yeah, because
the only person who's intimidated by them is maybe Scott Lang at the end.
Yeah.
Because he's like, did I win?
Yeah, because he knows who that is.
Did I make it worse?
Yeah, directly involved with that.
And then Loki in the post-credit scene.
And that's gonna be so weird because it's like, even if Phase 1, 2, 4, or the Thanos, the Infinity War saga.
Yeah.
Every movie had something to do with going towards the Thanos thing, because they're either dealing with the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Which is not directly to Thanos, but at least you're dealing with something that's with that.
Right.
Because you're trying to find the Infinity Stones or whatever.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be dealing with anything, but it's still better than Phase 4, which didn't deal with anything.
Yeah, Phase 4 was just a hodgepodge, because that was not a very good...
Phase 4 was...
That was like a waste.
Watch our Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
That aren't related at all to these films.
Yeah. And then you have movies that are supposed to be related to them, but they weren't, like Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness, where it references WandaVision for 30 seconds.
Yeah, and it was like, that's the multiverse, but it wasn't at the same time.
Yeah, the multiverse stuff, like, there was never an overarching thing that connected the multiverse.
Yeah.
It was like they got to the multiverse like 15 different ways.
Yeah.
And it wasn't connected at all.
You had Spider-Man.
Yeah, which is a spell gone wrong.
Yeah, and then you had Loki, which you're dealing with Kang there.
And then you had Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius. Which, yeah, I guess that is part of the multiverse. You had the Vulture there, or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Trying to find Spider-Man in a Spider-Man-less universe.
I don't know who you are. You don't know who I am. But I'm pretty sure Spider-Man's behind it. But you don't know who that is either.
Yeah.
So you want to help me kill him?
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Let me morb on that idea.
So anyway.
But
we'll see how Kraven the Hunter fits into
Yes. I guess this is in our speculation stuff.
Yeah, speculations.
Marvel, I guess.
I don't know what Marvel's doing.
This is like, it's very confusing.
No, it's this phase is already off to a roaring good start.
Yes.
It's currently, I think, the second worst rated Marvel film behind Eternals.
Which...
It's probably right between Eternals and Thor Love and Thunder.
Was it really that bad, though? I don't know. I guess Thor...
It was alright.
Yeah, Thor wasn't that bad either.
That wasn't that bad either. But there's just a lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Both movies suffer from a really stupid character.
Yeah.
That they like to focus on. Thor Love and Thunder, I feel like if they got rid of Korg, it would have been a much better film. This movie needed to do something about that jelly guy in his holes.
Yeah.
And MODOK.
They should have kept the telekinesis guy, but the jelly
guy... That guy was funny.
Yeah, that guy was pretty funny.
But MODOK was stupid.
Yeah, MODOK was dumb. I mean, I don't know how his character is in the comic, but I have a feeling he kind of is like that.
He's probably a little bit like that, but, like, he's definitely not the yellow jacket.
They need to change his... I mean, the first scene was him blowing up head that was pixelated. Like, it looked bad. Like, it was not good.
I think they were intentionally trying to make it look bad.
Yeah, probably.
Just for meme value.
Ridiculous.
That's another thing, too. Every Marvel movie seems to be trying to promote a meme.
Yeah, that's true. I think ever since like, Mandalorian with Grogu and stuff, they've been trying to do it more and more.
Yeah.
Because they knew that would happen there.
Right.
But... So
anyway, anything else we got to say about...
Quantumania or Marvel in general, I guess.
I think we covered everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright, so I think that's going to do it for this episode of Courageour Frights Reviews.
Yes.
So if you like this review, let us know what you thought about this film if you saw it.
Yes.
And give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more content like this in the future. And remember, it's never too late to stop being a dick.
Yes, exactly.
See ya.
See ya.